Alright, so the last time we met, I started introducing us to DOM, and then I showed us how to select HTML elements, all right, using get element by ID and other methods, right? So this evening we just and I last time I showed us how to I'm sorry, okay, I showed us how to change HTML element. All right, so you want to change HTML element and those kind of things. All right, so this evening we'll be talking about how to change styles. All right, so basically how there are two ways of changing styles. There are two ideologies to changing styles. All right, so first is that you can change the style directly. All right, so I will show us, and then change the you can change the class. All right, so you can declare maybe a class inside your CSS and declare some certain styles. All right, and then when an event happens, then you attach the styles to that event. All right, to that HTML element. All right, so I will show us the first one now, and then let's see what happened. Okay, we have from our last class, we have our ID, which is this, all right? So, and then we are selecting it here, all right? So we want to say that h1 dot on click, all right? So this, I will still talk about this later, but this basically means that when we click on this h1, something should happen, all right? So we should have a function, all right? Then we should say that h1 dot style. All right, so this is basically how to get the styles. All right, so we say h1 dot style dot, then you select whatever style that you want to select. Right, you see that this is display, this is width, this is position, this is, so it has a list of all the various styles that you can apply on an h1. Right, so you can change the background color, you can change background image, you can set whatever you want to set. All right, so this is it. Right, so we can pick color, all right, and then we can set it to probably red. All right, so when we save this first, let me open this with live server. All right, so let me open with live server. All right, so new share, then we have our this. All right, so this is it. Okay, so we are saying when we click on this, something should happen. Right, so you see that immediately I click, you didn't see that I clicked, but immediately I clicked on it, what happened? It changed the color. Can you see? All right, so that's basically how to change the styles. Right, so you can select whatever style that you want to change. So it's just by doing dot style, then you set to whatever style that you want to set. So you do dot style, right? Then you click dot, then you set to whatever you want to select. All right, so this is basically how to. So you notice something that in CSS, background color is background hyphen color, all right? But here it is background this color, all right? So you can say this equals to probably red, okay? Then you can say h1 dot style dot color equals to black or something. Let's say blue, all right? So what happens when we check what we have? You see that when we click on this, what happens? It changes the background to red and changes color to uh, blue, right? So you can select, you can change whatever style that you want to change, all right? Using dot style, all right? You get the element, all right, and then you attach the style, and then you change the style to whatever you want to change, all right? And then you put the value, All right, you put the value that you want to attach last, that you put it inside uh, braces, all right, inside what's that, quotation mark. All right, do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
All right, so that's basically how to change that. Right, so you can set whatever style that you want to set, and then you can change it. All right, so the next thing that I want to talk about is events. All right, so I've been using some events, all right, and then we've been seeing it. Okay, so events. So what are events? All right, so events are basically things that happen. All right, is from an English word. So events are basically things that happen. All right, to an HTML element. So you can capture those things. All right, and then you can do something when those things happen. Okay, so you can basically say that, okay, when you click on him on an HTML element, something should happen. Or when you over an HTML element, something should happen. All right. So there are various kind of events. All right. We have the on click, we have a mouse over, we have different type of events that you can have. So you can basically, so I will quickly show us some of those events. All right. So let me just get this. I'm coming. So I want to. So I'm coming. But okay, I'm coming on. Okay, so I'm just checking. So I will just do this. So this is an example of an event. All right. So you can do h1 dot on. All right, so it's basically in this format on something. So it means that when an event happens, all right, so you can do on abort. So maybe when you abort something, on animation cancel, all right, on blur, on cancel, on play, on click, all right, so on close, on all this, all right, on drag, on, so we have a lot of events, right, on key up. So when you press a key, when you release it, right, on mouse down, all right, on whatever, all right, so we have on scroll, we have a list of events that you can attach. All right, so as you can see, we have a list of events that you can attach. All right, so you can do it this week by saying on something, right? But I want to show us something briefly. So if I do on click, all right, and then I set it to function, all right, so and then I say h1 dot inner text equals to hello, you have clicked me, right? And then I save this. I want to show something. Oh, your phone might go off. All right, that's interesting. So I may just probably just continue even after you go off. Okay, and then upload the rest to the to YouTube. All right. So when I check what I have here, all right, what do we have? When I click on this, you see that this changed. All right, but the first one that we declared did not uh did not get implemented. All right, we said you should change this background, right? But it did not get implemented. And the reason why this happened is that when we're declaring a variable, it's like we declared this to a function, right? And then we change the value. Okay, can you see what is happening? And then it's like we change the value, right? So when you want to add different events, right, to an element, if you do this dot on something, what will happen is that it will override the previous one that you declared. All right. So a way of overcoming this is doing h1 dot add event listener. All right, and then this takes two arguments. All right, this is a function. It takes the event that you want to add. So it takes whether it's abort, animation, cancel, blur, click, all those kind of things. All right. So this takes whatever event that you want to apply, and then it takes another thing which is a function. All right, and this takes, so it takes a function. All right, so you can do function. So let me just close this here. All right, and then so you can add whatever you want to add. So if I copy this now, let me copy this, and then I paste it, and then I save it. If we check what we have right now, right, when I click on this, what happened? You see that the two styles got applied. So maybe I should just delete the first one so that you will see that this is not the first one that it is applying, but the add events listener that we wrote. All right. So when we click it, it applied the color and then it changes the text. All right. So add events listener. So instead of using on click like this, the best way to use to add event is to use the add event listener method. All right. So you add event listener instead of on click, you just put click here. All right, so that's basically how to do it. So you can add different, you can begin to write different functions for when you click on an element. All right, do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. So I already talked about events, and so let me just show us. And I think I already showed us a list of events that we can have. But let me just show you. So we go here, all right, and then I paste this. Okay, so this is a list of events. So you can come to this link and then see a list of events on our boards, and then you can read what happens, and then you can get to understand it. All right. So we have a list of events here. Okay. So I think that's that. So basically, all these things I'm just giving you I'm just giving you sort of like the raw materials. Okay, so you will have to in your development you will see how to implement those things, how to add those things together so that you can implement those things. All right, so that you can make use of all the um blocks that I've given you. So they are like blocks, all right? And then when you want to build something, you make use of all those blocks to build something, all right? So I think all right. So as we have the DOM, all right, I think that's basically what I want to talk about in the DOM, all right? So as we have the DOM, we have the browser object model, all right? But I won't talk about that. So I think that's so cool. But I think that's basically that for the document object model. I didn't talk about everything, obviously, but I think I covered the basics about the document object model. Do you have any question? I didn't know this
No,
was
sir.
gonna end very soon. How many percent is your phone now?
2%.
All right, so let me just see if I can find something. I want to see, I want to be sure that I'm coming and then so I will just send a link to some of the materials that you can check, all right, to read up more. And I think that's basically the fundamentals of this is cool. But then there are other things, all right, but I won't be able to talk about those things. But I think that's basically everything to cover on document object model. All right. So basically, um, what you just have to know is how to uh, make use of all the building blocks that I already give you to develop whatever you want to develop. All right. So I'm coming. Let me just copy this. So I'm just trying to check to make sure that I've covered everything. Alright. And then when I check here, I see that I've talked about majority of the stuff. I've talked about this. I've talked about this. Nodes are basically, you can read up more on those ones, but it's very simple. Alright, so this is browser get model. So it's basically talking about, instead of the document, the document is your HTML, right? But this one is talking about your window. Alright, so you can have the window, you can have the inner height, you can make use of all those things to do whatever you want to do, right? So you can get the screen width, all right? You can get the screen height, you can get whatever you want to get with this, all right? So there's the location, all right? So you can get the location, all right? So I think that's really that about that. Do you have any question?
No, sir.
All right, so I think we are done. So you can let me just stop recording.